everybody, welcome to day 10 of the 2-week yoga challenge. My name is Freya and I'm going to be guiding you through this practice today. Whenever you're ready, come into a comfortable seat, sitting either cross-legged or on your knees. Turn your palms to face up and gently close down the eyes. Begin by taking a full breath in through the nose. Let it out with a big sigh out through the mouth. And again, inhale deeply through the nose. Let the exhale out through the mouth with a big sigh. Draw the hands together at heart center. Call to mind an intention today for your practice. And then gently release your hands either side of the body, taking your hands to the mat, coming into all fours, and then dropping back into an extended child's pose, touching the big toes together, arms reaching forwards. If you can, gently press the forehead to the mat and start to breathe deeply into the belly, filling the belly as you inhale, and emptying out the lungs completely with the exhale. Just take this moment to really align the body, start to ground yourself on the earth beneath you. And then gently pressing into the fingertips, rocking up into all fours. We're going to start to activate the abs. So press into the palms, take the knees underneath the hips, tuck the pads of the toes underneath you, and then just start to lift up the knees. Keeping the body straight, pressing into the hands and keeping the neck long. Staying here, engaging the abs. You might feel the body start to shake. And then gently drop the knees back down and then lift up again. We're going to start to flow, lifting up and dropping down. Inhale as you lift up the knees. Exhale, drop the knees back to the mat. And again, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. One more time, inhale and exhale, drop the knees back down, untuck the toes and roll into cow stretch. Look towards the belly, cat pose. Bring your spine back to neutral, then tuck the toes and lift off the knees again. Stay here, keep breathing, pressing into the hands, neck is long, back is straight. Then drop the knees, untuck the toes and roll into cow, looking up towards the sky. Exhale, roll the back, look towards the belly, and then tuck the toes and send the knees up. Drop the knees, untuck the toes, roll into cow stretch, looking up towards the sky, and then roll the back, tuck the toes, come back into that ab activation. And again, a few more times. Inhale, look up towards the sky, roll the back. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the knees. Inhale, look up. Exhale, roll the back, tuck the toes, lift the knees. And again, drop the knees, untuck the toes, roll the back, look up towards the sky. Exhale, roll the spine, tuck the toes, lift the knees. Drop the knees, roll the back, look towards the sky. And then exhale, tuck the toes, roll the spine, coming back into the ab activation, and then pressing back into a downward facing dog. Take a few organic movements here in downward facing dog, paddling out the feet, pressing into the hands, just doing anything that feels good, and then bringing yourself into stillness for one full breath. Inhale, we're going to roll into plank. Exhale, we're going to press back into downward facing dog. And again, inhale, roll into plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, back to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 more times. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last one. Inhale to plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll to plank. And then we're going to press through a chaturanga. Slowly, slowly, slowly lowering the body down towards the mat. Keeping the legs lifted. Untucking the toes. And pressing up into an upward facing dog. Drop the whole body down onto the mat and take the hands either side of the body. Gently press into the hands and come into Sphinx pose. Release the head and shoulders back down onto the mat. Press the hands either side of the body and press up into plank, floating back into downward facing dog. Inhale, come high up onto the toes and press into plank. Exhale, downward facing dog again. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 more. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. And again, you should be feeling the abs firing up. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. And again, inhale to plank, and then slowly lower down through chaturanga, all the way down to the mat, and then untuck the toes, press the body into an upward facing dog, tops of the feet touching the mat, and then press yourself all the way down onto the mat. Low Sphinx pose, keep taking the elbows onto the mat, lifting up the chest, and then pressing up through a push-up if you can, and coming back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, come high up onto the toes, bend the knees this time, step or jump to the top of the mat. Fold the body over the legs, and then inhale, bring yourself all the way up to standing, vertebrae by vertebrae, rolling the shoulders back and down. Hands come to Tadasana, and then inhale, sweep up the arms. Exhale, fold through heart center. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back into a plank. Press through a chaturanga, slowly, 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 and then inhale, come into an upward facing dog. Tops of the feet are the only things touching the mat apart from the hands. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Getting ready to roll back into plank. Inhale to plank. Pause here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank, rippling through the body. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Moving like a wave, inhale to plank, exhale, downward facing dog. And again, inhale to plank, and then slowly, slowly press yourself back to downward facing dog, bend the knees, and step to the top of the mat. Fold the body over the legs, inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep yourself all the way up to standing. Press the palms through heart center, arms by your side, Tadasana. Keep moving, inhale, sweep up the arms. Exhale, press through heart center. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back into plank, float through a chaturanga, moving slowly with the body. Inhale to an upward facing dog. Tops of the feet on the mat, press through into a downward facing dog. And again, we're going to float into plank here, waving the body forwards. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog, moving like a wave. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale back to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come high up onto the toes, bend the knees, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards over the legs. And then inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to standing. Press the palms through heart center. Arms by your side, Tadasana. Keep moving. Inhale, sweep up the arms. Exhale, fold through heart center. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back into plank, float through a chaturanga. Inhale to high cobra or to upward facing dog. Exhale, press into the palms, downward facing dog. Inhale, float yourself to plank, and then exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale to plank, you should be really feeling the abs firing up. Exhale, downward facing dog, and again, inhale. Exhale, last two. Keep moving like a wave. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last one. Bend the knees. Step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, sweep up the arms. Press the palms through heart center. Arms by your side, Tadasana. Beautiful. Inhale, sweep up the arms. Exhale, float through heart center. Press the palms into the mat and step the right foot back, coming into a high lunge. Inhale, sweep up the arms, and exhale, sink into the hips. Staying here just for a few moments and just making sure that that left ankle is directly underneath the left knee. Lifting up through the arms. And then exhale, draw the hands through heart center. Take the right hand to the inside of the left foot and sweep up into a twist. So really actively lifting up through the body, not sinking into the shoulders. And then take that right hand slightly further away from you. Drop the back leg. And take that top foot over to the side, coming into a side plank. This might be where you stay, reach up the arms, or maybe you join the feet together and come into the full expression. Hips are rainbowing up towards the sky. You're pressing into the hands and you're lifting up through the side body. Keep activating the core and maybe look up towards that top hand. Keep breathing. And then exhale, float that left hand back to the mat. Step yourself into a plank, float through a chaturanga, slowly move into upward facing dog. And then exhale, roll of the toes, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, sweep up the right leg. Exhale, step it through the center of the hands, floating back into a high lunge. Inhale. Exhale, sink the hips, and then float the feet together, sweeping the arms up, sinking into chair. Sitting back into an imaginary chair and actively separating the knees underneath you. Feet are about a hip width distance apart. Exhale, float forward over the legs, chopping the wood. Inhale, sweep up the arms. Exhale, float forwards. Inhale, sweep up the arms. Exhale, float forwards. Inhale, sweep up the arms. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale, last one. Inhale, sweep up the arms and come into standing. Draw the hands through heart center. Arms by your side, Tadasana. Inhale, sweep up the arms, press the palms together. Exhale, fold through heart center. Inhale, take a halfway lift, and then exhale, press the hands to the mat. Step the left foot back, coming back into a high lunge. Inhale, sweep up the arms, making sure that that right ankle is directly underneath the right knee. Keep breathing. Arms are lifted. And then press the hands through heart center, taking that left hand to the inside of the right foot. Take both hands either side of the foot and then sweep up the right arm. Keep the back leg lifted, or you can drop it down, whatever feels comfortable. And then draw both hands to the mat. We're going to come into that side plank, so drop the back knee. Take that top foot over to the top, reach up the arms, and stay here or float into the full version. If you're on the full version, you can take the right foot slightly in front of the left, rainbow the hips up towards the sky, and reach up the arms. Keep the breath in the belly. This is a very intense pose. Keep breathing. And then rainbow that hand back to the mat, float yourself into a plank, align the spine, and then float through a chaturanga. Inhale to an upward facing dog, tops of the feet pressed on the mat. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Full breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come high up onto the toes, bend the knees, step or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, take a halfway lift, back straight. Exhale, fold over the legs, and then inhale, sweep yourself all the way up. Press the hands through heart center, arms by your side, Tadasana. Inhale, sweep up the arms. Exhale, fold through heart center. Inhale, halfway lift, back straight, neck long. Exhale, plant the hands and step the right foot back, coming back into a high lunge. Inhale, sweep up the arms. Exhale, sink into the hips. Stay here. Keep breathing in through the nose only. And then press the palms together. We're going to take a twist. We're going to take the right elbow over and around onto that left thigh. Press the hands together and actively start to lift up the body. Imagine that you're sending your belly button to the side of the room. Keep breathing, pressing into the hands, and then reach up the arms. Press the hands back onto the mat. We're going to float back into plank. And then come back into that side plank. So this time you can come straight up with both legs lifted, and maybe you start to lift off that top foot. If you do need to drop the knee, you can do so. Otherwise, keep engaging through the arms, engaging the abs, finding your balance. Keep breathing. Float that foot back down, find your balance, and then take your hands to the mat. Float back into plank. Come through chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog, tops of the feet on the mat. And then exhale, roll over the toes. Downward facing dog. Inhale, come up onto the toes, and then we're going to step the right foot forwards, coming back into that high lunge. Inhale, sweep up the arms. Exhale, sink into the hips. Float forwards, sweep yourself into chair pose. We're going to chop the wood again here. Exhale, float forwards. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, float forwards over the legs. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale. Inhale. Last two. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale, sweep yourself all the way up. Press the palms through heart center. Arms by your side, Tadasana. Beautiful. Let's take the other side. Inhale, sweep up the arms. Exhale, fold through heart center. Press the hands on the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Step the left foot back, high lunge. Inhale, sweep up the arms. Exhale, sink into the hips. Keep breathing through the nose only. Actively sending out the energy through that back heel. Then press the hands together and come into a twist. So the left elbow is coming around onto the right thigh, pressing the palms together and actively trying to send that belly button to the side wall. Beautiful. Press the hands either side of the foot, step into a plank, and then turn into side plank. So again, if you need to, you can drop that bottom leg, or the bottom knee onto the mat. Otherwise, lift up the hands and maybe start to float that top foot up. Keep the core strong. Flex the top toes on the top foot if it's lifted. Keep lifting up through the shoulders. And then float the hands and the foot back down onto the mat. Float yourself into a plank and come through Chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, roll of the toes. Downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, come high up onto the toes. Float that left foot forward. Step the left foot forwards. Inhale, come to high lunge. Exhale, float into chair pose. And then inhale, sweep yourself all the way up. Hands through heart center. Arms by your side, Tadasana. Beautiful work. Keep breathing. Roll the shoulders back and down. And step yourself to the top of the mat. Inhale, sweep up the arms. Exhale, fold through heart center. Inhale, halfway lift, back straight. Exhale, plant the hands and jump back into plank. Float yourself through Chaturanga. Slowly come into upward facing dog or cobra. And then roll over the toes. Downward facing dog. Beautiful. Keep the breath deep. And then inhale, sweep up the right leg. Exhale, we're going to draw the right knee to the right elbow. Coming into plank. Inhale, sweep up to three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to left elbow, twisting, coming into plank. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the chest. Inhale, three-legged dog. And then exhale, knee to the chest. Step the foot forwards, coming back into high lunge. Pausing here and then opening up into warrior two, turning that back foot out, dropping the elbow onto the thigh and sweeping up into a side bend. Staying here or lifting up the hands. We're moving quite fast, we're moving dynamically. Keep the breath in the belly, lift up the arms, engage the core. Beautiful. Stay here. We're going to float into half moon by taking the weight onto the front leg, floating up that back foot. And at the same time, bringing the body down. So the body is straight. There can be a slight bend in that supporting leg. Looking down towards the ground, finding your balance. And then float the foot back. Come back into warrior two. Reverse the warrior quickly just to release out the back. Inhale back to warrior two. And then float yourself back into high lunge. We're going to come into warrior three from here. Lifting up the arms and then starting to take the weight onto the front foot. Reach the arms forward. At the same time, reach that back foot back. Straight line with the body. You can keep the hands here or you can press the hands to heart center. Whatever feels good for you. Keep breathing. And then we're going to sweep the arms forward. Right arm forward, left arm back. And start to switch the arms. Keeping the leg lifted, switching the arms. Finding your balance. Switching through the arms. And then reach the hands forward. Step the foot back. Come back into a warrior two. Inhale here. And then exhale, fold over the feet, float back through a chaturanga, maybe taking a one-legged chaturanga, up to you. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Excellent work. We'll come into the other side. Inhale, we're going to sweep up that left leg this time. And then exhale, we're going to take the left knee towards the right wrist, coming into plank. Inhale back to three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to left wrist. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the chest, roll into plank. Inhale, three-legged dog. And then exhale, draw the knee to the chest. Lightly step that foot in between the hands, coming into high lunge. Back heel is lifted. And then turn that back foot out. We're going to come into a warrior two. Beautiful. Drop that left elbow onto the left thigh. Float that right arm up, coming into a side bend. And maybe float off the bottom arm. Activating the core, lifting up through the side body. This is a very intense pose, so just keep breathing in through the nose. Full breath. Staying here, or there's the option to start to float into half moon. Left hand down, right hand lifted. Lift up the leg, slight bend in that left knee if you need to. Straight line from the ankle all the way to the head. Keep the breath in the belly. Float yourself back to warrior two. Pause here and then come back into a high lunge. We're going to float into warrior three. So kicking up that back foot, sweeping the arms back this time and then sweep the arms forward. Slight bend in that left leg. Again, we're going to bring the hands to heart center and we're going to start to float here. Floating the left arm forwards, right arm back and switching. Switch and switch and switch and switch. Keeping your balance. Keep breathing and then float yourself back to warrior two. Gently reverse the warrior to release the back. Float back to warrior 2, frame the front foot, flow through maybe a 3-legged chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. And then exhale, let's bend the knees, come into a child's pose. We're almost there. Touch the big toes together. Send the sit bones back onto the heels. Full breath through the nose. Let it out through the mouth with a sigh. Beautiful. Press into the hands. Take the knees wide. And then we're going to come into forearm plank, interlacing the fingers and coming onto the elbows. Send the hips up. We're going to start to drop the knees down. So drop the right knee first, left knee, right knee, left knee. Coming into a little ab activation here, switching through the knees. Keep the sit bones high, keep the neck long, and keep switching through the knees. Should be really feeling this in the core. Just a few more. And then press yourself back to forearm plank, drop the knees, sink the hips back into an extended child's pose. Full breath in through the nose. Let it out with a sigh through the mouth. Press into the hands, come into all fours. Take the knees underneath the hips, rock the back from side to side. Beautiful. We're going to come to sitting down, taking our legs in front of us. Flex the toes out in front, reach the arms forwards, and vertebrae by vertebrae bring yourself down to the mat. Really engaging the abs, engaging the legs. We're going to come into a few ab activations here. Inhale, sit up, reach forwards, and then exhale, slowly and gently bring yourself to the mat. Inhale, sit up, legs forwards, arms forwards. Exhale, roll back. 3 more. Inhale, sit up. Exhale, roll back. And again, inhale. And as you sit up, slightly reach forwards before rolling all the way down. And again, inhale, sit up, reach forwards, and then exhale, fold over the legs this time. Just take a little hamstring stretch here, allow the body to be heavy. And then gently peel yourself off the legs, give the legs a little shake. And then we're going to come down to lying on the back again. So slowly and gently bring yourself down to lie on the back. This time, reach the arms up overhead. We're going to come into a little Pilates section here. So we're going to reach the arms up, and at the same time we're going to reach the legs up. We're going to come into a little Pilates sequence here. So we're going to draw the legs down to about a 45 degree, and at the same time lift the arms up over the head. Start to beat the feet by crossing the ankles. Continue to cross the ankles, keep breathing in through the nose, keep the arms lifted, and at the same time the back is on the mat. Keep breathing. Just a few more. And then draw the knees to the chest, hug the knees, and curl your forehead towards the knees. Reach up the arms, straighten out the legs, and we'll go again. Start to beat the ankles. This time maybe bring your legs down a little bit lower for a challenge. Keep the arms lifted. Keep beating the ankles. You should be really feeling this in the lower abdomen. Keep the lower back pressed into the mat, and then draw the knees to the chest. Fold your forehead to the knees. Release the back down on the mat. Reach the arms out. And then straighten the legs, straighten the arms up to shoulder height, and then slowly and gently start to bring the legs down and bring the arms up overhead. Beautiful. Release yourself all the way down onto the mat. Take a mini Shavasana. Wiggle the legs from side to side. And then just bring yourself into stillness. Beautiful. We're going to come into supported bridge by taking the heels onto the mat and drawing them close to the sit bones, pressing the hands into the mat, and then lifting up the hips. Take the hands underneath the lower back and just press the hands into the back, creating a little table. Gentle tuck of the chin to the chest, and just relax the hips here. So we're just kind of sitting into the hands, using this more as a restorative pose to relax the abs. Keep the breath in the belly. And then when you're ready, start to release the hands. Release the hips and press yourself all the way down back to the mat. Windshield wiper the knees from side to side. And then just release the legs out long, coming back into Shavasana. We're going to come into another little Pilates sequence. So we're going to draw the right leg up towards the face, keeping the legs straight and just taking hold of the back of the thigh, the shin or the ankle if you can. And gently pull the leg towards the face, pull, pull, and then switch the legs. So pull, pull, switch, pull, pull, switch, pull, pull, switch. And at the same time, the top of the back is off the mat. Pull, pull, switch. And again, so we're doing exhale, exhale, inhale with the switch. Exhale, exhale, inhale, switch. Exhale, exhale, inhale, switch. Keep going with your own breath. Keep moving. You can bend that knee as much as you need to. And you should really be feeling the abs fire up here. And you can take a little hamstring stretch at the same time. Keep going. Pull, pull, and switch. Pull, pull, and switch. Beautiful. Pull, pull, switch. And again. Just a few more. Keep pulling gently and switching the legs. Pull, pull, switch. Pull, pull, switch. And then draw both the knees into the chest. Hug the knees and rock the lower back from side to side. Beautiful. With your next inhale, reach up the arms, reach up the legs, and slowly and gently bring yourself all the way down to laying on the back. Coming into a twist now, draw the right knee towards the chest, take the left hand on top of the thigh and draw that knee over to the left side. At the same time, catch that right foot with the right hand and turn the face over to the right. Relax fully in the pose, breathe deeply in through the nose. Just allow gravity to do the work here. Breathing in and out through the nose only. With your next inhale, start to bring your knees back to the center. Hug the knees into the chest, massage out the lower spine. And then when you're ready, we'll go into the other side. So straighten out the right leg. Take a hold of that left thigh with the right hand, coming into a twist. And if you can, we're going to grab the left foot with the left hand and gently take the gaze over to the left side. Close down the eyes, breathe deeply in through the nose, filling up the belly with the inhale, relaxing with the exhale. Gently draw your knees back to the chest, give yourself a big hug, massage the lower back from side to side, and then bring the soles of the feet together, the knees out wide, left hand on the heart, right hand on the belly. Close the eyes. Take a full breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, release down into your final Shavasana. Thank you so much for joining me in your practice today. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.